one of football's toughest journeys, a trip to Geelong. A cauldron of parochialism, where the city's mood is determined by the fortunes of their football team. And today's assignment is no easy task. An Adelaide Crows team surprising everybody it seems but themselves. At 7-4, they enjoyed the lofty heights of third place on the AFL ladder. The Cats trailed them by percentage only and are smarting after last week's loss to Collingwood. The feared defence was breached often. Redemption is demanded. From Skilled Stadium, it's third versus fourth, the match of the round. Geelong versus Adelaide on Sunday Football.
It's quaintly referred to as Sleepy Hollow, but the city of Geelong will be anything but that today. Skilled Stadium set to be at close to capacity for this mid-season top four clash between the hometown Cats and the visiting Adelaide Crows. Hi everyone, great to have you with us for Sunday Football. Clinton Gribus alongside of Wayne Carey and Jared Healy with you for this match, and what a struggle it is set to be. The Cats having dropped their last two matches, the Crows having won their last three. They're both 7-4. Jared, there's a heck of a lot to play for.
Yes, and a great air of expectation at this newly developed stadium, Clinton. I think it's a magnificent venue, and I think we're going to get a great game. The Cats simply have to win. That's the simple formula for them. Adelaide are in great form. The Cats have dropped four players, one of which is out with injury. Their captain, Stephen King. And if they don't get back to everybody contributing, they're going to get hammered by the Crows on their own dunghill.
And a late change as well with Tom Harley out of the Geelong side. Matt Egan will come in for just his third senior game, Wayne, and they're meeting an Adelaide Crows team that has been terrific this year, and it's been sparked by their backline.
Who would have thought the Adelaide Crows aiming for the top four, Clinton? And it's the unsung heroes that are doing it. It's the Box, the Ruttons, also Bassett. They're allowing a Kenny McGregor to go forward and kick goals. So it's the unsung heroes. We know how good their midfield is, but this Adelaide side, like I said, aiming for the top four after today.
The number one defence in the AFL, conceding just 73 points per game. Kingsley, the leading goal kicker for the Cats, he's got 30. Maybe it's got to be Playfair that has to stand up today.
Well, somebody has to, Clinton, and Playfair back in the team at centre-half forward is a very good player. The wind's going to play a big role here today. The bigger the wind, I think, on grounds like this, the greater the home ground advantage. And it is blowy. Cameron Ling has to fire. He's got a big job probably on a Simon Goodwin or a Rashudo. Mooney's always a glamour player, whether he's in there for the right or the wrong reasons, but I like the way he plays. And Matty Scarlett has had a lot of attention on him this year. Hasn't been in great form, needs to find it.
Scott Welsh back in the Crows team. He's their leading goal kicker with 21 goals. Chambers to ruck. Ottens to relieve him in the absence of Stephen King. Off the benches for Mark Thompson, Riccardi, Corey back in the side, Boons and Mackie. While for the visiting Crows and Neil Craig, it's Doughty, Perry, Riley and Biglands. Talking about the midfield battle, the Adelaide Crows midfield, Mark Harvey called it after last week's game against Essendon. They are equal to the best in the competition. Therefore, no longer kittens. These young Geelong players in the midfield have to stand up and negate this Adelaide midfield.
Oh, I think that's right. And Gary Ablett Jr. is his best is outstanding, but he's got to do it more often and do it on a week-to-week basis. They've got to probably get Chambers firing in the middle as a replacement for King, but all the other J's, to James Kelly, James Bartel, and of course Joel Corey, they're the lifeblood of this team.
And for the Adelaide Crows, people said they couldn't kick goals, Wayne. They come up with 24 goals last week, and it was some different names that bobbed up. Jericho with a personal best of 4 goals. McGregor kicks 4. Goodwin comes down and kicked 4 goals.
That's right, Clinton. They got rid of a bit of old wood last year, and Ken McGregor's been able to go forward, kick 5 last week. Lukey Jericho, fantastic game by him. His best game probably for the club, kicking 4 goals last week.
And they're coming to a ground which holds no fears for them. They have won 2 of their last 3 at this ground at Skilled Stadium. It is set to be a terrific match. Joining us on the boundary side throughout the course of the afternoon will be Wayne Schloss, and he's got these pearls of wisdom for us. Good afternoon, Wayne.
Thanks, Clinton. Stephen King unfortunately won't take his place this afternoon, the Cats skipper, but they get a timely return from an important player in the midfield nonetheless. That happens to be Joel Corey. Got absolutely battered from pillar to post against the Saints in round 7. Mightn't be the most skillful of players, but what he is, he's courageous, he's tough. He dusted himself off each and every time he got poleaxed or hitting the headler in that particular game. He provides the spark. He'll combine with a number of other talented players inside the Cats midfield set up this afternoon. You won't see Stephen King, as I said, but you'll see Brad Ottens do the majority of the ruck work. But importantly, the Cats have a plethora of options they can rotate through the middle. Bartel, Kelly, Ling, Corey, Enright, even Peter Riccardi can find himself in there at certain stages this afternoon. That'll certainly give the Adelaide Crows plenty to think about. And while we're on the Crows, there's been a couple of really good, successful stories this afternoon, one of which is this man here taking a great mark. That happens to be Ben Rutten. He's a cornerstone now of an Adelaide defence which is ranked equal first with the West Coast prior to this weekend's round of matches as the most frugal of sides to score against. While that man there, Ben Hudson, what a great story that is for any budding AFL football player. He's a late bloomer. His emergence has been such a dominating force for the Adelaide Crows this afternoon. And while we're talking about dominating forces, none come any better than this. Gary Ablett kicked 10 goals way back in 1993.
Scott had Prosciutto pinned as soon as he got the ball. Bairstow into the goal square. Ablett, another one. 9. Bairstow. Nice snap. Bends it back. Ablett has taken the mark right on the behind bunker.
Kicks and kicks truly. 10 big ones for Gary Ablett.
National 9 News.
With McLeod, gives it across to Goodwin. That's magic play. Kicks it to the hot spot over the top. That was Harley. Went the thump, picked up by Laddams. Quick snap! That's a big goal.
Geelong were on their way to the finals round 21 of last year, but it was the Crows who prevailed by 22 points. That was the last occasion these two clubs met. They're meeting today under perfect clear skies at Geelong, currently 17 degrees, just one shy of our forecast top. Two very evenly matched teams devoid of, well, I guess you could say stars. Statistically, here's where the respective leaders in those categories rank by way of the AFL competition. Hayden Skipworth, he leads the Adelaide Crows in marks this year with 55. That places him number 67 in the AFL, and no one in the top 10 by way of disposals from either side. They are even clubs.
They are. Skipworth, 67th and leading the Adelaide Crows in marks. That's how the game's changed. It's not centre half forwards or centre half backs.
He'll be dining out on that,
He's
lady.
4'1", Skipworth.
Geelong have won the toss. They'll kick to the right of screen, which is still, for now, the Hickey stand, but that will change at any time Council gets around to it, and that stand will be called the Doug Wade stand, and it'll be the Gary Ablett terrace to the left, and the new eastern stand on the far side of the ground will take the name of Reg Hickey. Ken McGregor, a star last week with 4 goals. That Adelaide Crows forward line booting 24 goals, including 14 after half-time against the Bombers.
Big match-up this one, Wayne. Simon Goodwin, probably the Crows' best player, along with Prosciutto this year, up on Gary Ablett. So tough role for Ablett, and he is getting the best midfielder, picking him up straight away.
Yeah, probably the club, well, definitely leading the club best and fairest at this stage of the year. And Andrew McLeod starting on the ball for the first time in a few weeks.
Scarlett to Welsh, Mooney to McGregor in the Crows forward line. Sunday football, the match of the round. Live and exclusive from Geelong, and it's Chambers to go against Hudson. And we're underway, and early on McLeod involved. Ling shoveling the hand pass out. Crows, however, with numbers. Matner for Goodwin, and now for Hart, the veteran, with an early possession for Prosciutto. In, well, perhaps Brownlow medal winning form this year. Brenton Sanderson in for the first time this year for Geelong. And he forces a boundary throw, and the umpires wired for sound on Sunday football. Hayden Kennedy, Scott McLaren, and Scott Jeffrey as you have a look at the Crows bench.
Hands up, go on the ball,
Real
no
challenge
holding.
for the players this week, because the wind is so much more direct here, and at the great stadiums we've got around the country, it doesn't affect the footy as often.
Good grab by Goodwin in front of Ablett.
Very strong over his head, Simon Goodwin, and Cameron Ling gone straight to Mark Prosciutto.
Goodwin coming off another ripping game last week. 26 touches and 4 goals against the Bombers. This is Scott Thompson in his 50th game.
Rook on Tyson Edwards.
Towards half forward, Skipworth to run onto it. Now McGregor. It's not 15. Bartel for Scarlett. Loose man on in the middle, Chapman. We'll try and get it over the top for Gardner. If he can, he's electing to go a little wider to the outer wing. Finds Hunt. Down the line on a long lead, Kingsley matched up by Bassett. Too far out to score. High ball. Crows in front. Standing the ground, Rutten. Off the spoil, Milburn. Now Hudson, and the Crows can clear to the broadcast side. Tawney. Happy to run it out. Rutten for Goodwin towards Edwards on the wing. Closing fast, spoiling well. Rook. Now Kelly needs to get involved early. Rook for Ling. Good build-up. Bombs it long. Gives the forwards a chance. Hottons was caught 3 deep. Crows should clear. Tawney works with Bassett. Now Hudson in the back pocket. Uses McLeod. Back for Hudson. Crows happy to run it out. And the kick floats towards Burton.
Dangerous player, Burton. He's very tough to match up on. He's already involved well.
Open forward line for Adelaide. Space for the forwards to lead. Thompson elects to bomb it long. Welsh has one out with Scarlett. Welsh elects to spoil. McGregor to run onto it. Mooney to beat. Good duel. Handball for Skipworth. Finds an opening. Was he pushed in the back? Too high. Free kick, Crows.
Pretty tough on the Geelong player in pursuit because Skipworth, you'll see, he slips. And that was probably the reason why the tackle was high.
The Ken Mooney-Ken McGregor matchup is an interesting one. Ken McGregor runs 5Ks in about 16 minutes. His endurance is exceptional for a big guy. Just not so sure whether Ken Mooney will have the endurance to go with him.
Yep, thanks, Brent.
Hayden Skipworth on a day where the breeze will make things difficult for goal kicking from long range. This will hold up to the top of the square. There's some holding on. And it's a Cam Mooney free kick against McGregor.
He will have the strength, though.
Well, you just saw how much the wind is going to affect it. And players are going to, when they're on this side of the ground, the opposite side to which the ball is now, they're going to have to just kick the ball about 5 to 10 metres left of where the middle of the goals is.
Good ball for Enright. Down the eastern side for Chapman. Kicks quickly to half forward. Crows will have numbers. Bassett to get there first. No one comes towards him, so he can take off and use Andrew McLeod. Just glides across the Skilled Stadium turf. Delivers towards McGregor in front. Good sure hands. Now Hudson's leading forward. Edwards, does he seem? No. Pops it up towards the 50. Hudson running onto this with Burton. And in the end, Hudson didn't make contact with it to Burton's relief.
And Darren Milburn is in for a hell of a day because Burton covers an enormous amount of territory. He's notionally a wingman, but he effectively is just a ruck rover, goes forward and goes back.
Burton electing to drop it off short. The lead provided by Jericho. Good hand, Skipworth. First score. Crows goal. Well done, Hayden Skip.
Radio Rental's biggest ever stock take sale is ready to roll.
Coaches, a new awning being trialled in that controversial eastern stand. If it works, they'll make it permanent. If not, today's the day. The coach's box will be switched to the Brownlow stand on our broadcast side of the ground. Let's hope Neil Craig can see it about three-quarter time. Goodwin to Hart. Now Burton, a lunging attempt at the tackle by Gardner, ineffective. Great ball for Thompson. Look at them run. Rashudo for Tawney. Again, forwards with space to lead to, and this time it doesn't reach Welsh. Scarlett peels off. Marks uses Bartel.
Play on now. Play on, he's over.
Bartel, though, bereft of free men, chips short. Rook's got it. 15 metres away. Driving it, long ball. Good hands, man in front. Henry Playfair. Good talk, Chapman. Too far out to score. Uses Milburn. Now Playfair makes him work.
Play on.
And the mark is paid to Kingsley. Short 15, Gerald.
Yeah, I would have thought it was a bit under the 15s, but nevertheless, Kingsley could just about have a crack from there. Wind is going to blow the ball back to the goal face if he pokes it out in front.
Just 5 goals in his last 5 matches against the Adelaide Crows. Kent Kingsley, he's booted 30 this year.
Far goalpost, just let the ball drift back in. Every chance here. Not with that kick.
He picks the left goalpost. It went further left.
Hudson knocks it down. Goodwin doesn't want to concede a behind. Matner.
Tawney getting plenty of it early.
Geez, they got some good run here, the Crows. Wayne, this is a great start by the visitors.
And the guy that's got the ball right now, Jared, is that reason exactly, because he gives them all their run. Ben Hart.
Skipworth for Bock. Inside the 50, holding up. Scarlett the spoil on Welsh. Still a chance, Adelaide. Jericho, though, lost sight of it. Sanderson desperate. Thompson. Skipworth. Now Bock. 50 out, unselfishly goes to Burton. Should play on here. Men streaking forward. Will use Jericho or go himself. He goes himself, but misses to the near side.
It was always going to be a tough shot. He was under pressure, and the wind was going to be playing havoc. I reckon he was looking for Jericho, but I think in the end he made the right choice. Had to have a crack at it.
I'm not sure whether the move's been made, but Gary Ablett and Simon Goodwin started on one another. Goodwin already 5 possessions.
Well, if you look at possessions, Adelaide's had 45, Geelong have had 25. They're using it short coming out of their back line, Geelong, but Adelaide, but they're winning too much of the footy, I reckon, for Mark Thompson's liking.
Hunt uses the tall men, Chambers and Mooney from the kick-in, and Mooney marks, delivers towards the wing. Well-weighted ball, Kingsley unable to hang on. Goodwin, terrific. Burton, Rashudo takes them on court. Good work by the Cats. Ling finding Kingsley. Kelly about to be mown down. Chapman with Tawney pursuing him. Good balance. Long to a contest. Otten's getting back. Some holding on. Jumper.
Which way?
And it's a Rutten free kick. Fans had the hearts in the mouth. It's Matner, now McLeod.
That is one area that Ottens won't beat Rutten in, and that's body on body. Very strong boy.
McLeod tries to use Thompson, who gets rid of Enright and marks it as well. Enright, the man who infringed. Thompson uses Burton. He's been given some latitude early. Plays on, 40 out, on the left, goes for goal. It's a great start from the Crows. Possessions already, and now a goal. And the Crows with the first couple. Chambers pushed off it. Rashudo always at the coalface. Bartel in the path of Mackie. Matner's got him. Just managed to get his boot to it, perhaps. Shirley, there's an intensity about this Crows team this afternoon. And a boundary thrown on the outer wing.
Well, one of the areas that one of the Crows plays, it was in the top 10, was Matner, and that was in tackles. Clinton, he's a very good tackler. You saw that about 30 seconds ago when he just pinned the ball to the player.
Corey on for Milburn. Let's see if he goes straight to Burton. Shirley for Edwards. Now for Matner. McGregor slipped. Rook, centre half back for Enright. Makes him work.
Good tackle.
Thompson, the tackle stuck. Corey, welcome back, straight in the fray under pressure. Defers to Scarlett. Sanderson. Now Joel Corey. The Cats turn to run, but they're under plenty of pressure. Rook for Chapman. Long ball to the goal square. They've given Ottens a chance again. And the end result will be a bounce.
But look at the numbers around the ball. There's 4 Crows and 2 Geelong players, and I think that's indicative of just how much the respective sides are running.
Well, they're just under pressure. The Cats coming in. They've got to kick the ball long and high to Ottens rather than kick to a lead.
Edwards pops it out in front of Hart. Clever. And now Rutten.
Always options.
And their springboard out of defence, the Crows, is so impressive. This is Edwards running. Now, he's got no one long, so that's why he's carrying it and still carrying it. Eventually presenting wide Welsh. Working against Scarlett. Scarlett heads for the boundary line and finds it.
Good effort by Matthew Scarlett there, just to neutralise his footy. The ball was a reasonable kick into Welsh, but he couldn't quite get himself through.
If there's any doubt over Scarlett's fitness, I think he's just proven that he's fully fit today, because Scotty Welsh is very quick and showed that he's also strong enough to hold Welsh off the ball.
Playing wide at the stoppages, and James Bartels is getting too much of the footy, I reckon, for the Crows.
Enright targets Ling with Shudo pursuing him. A hurried kick forward, blazing away. Adelaide with numbers. Otten's bearing down on Bassett, but he's equal to it. Now McLeod minding Ablett for the time being.
Swap with Goodwin. And Goodwin and Bartel are playing wide.
Bassett for Goodwin, and now Bock. Short ball, Burton, with Joel Corey running with him now. Mark Thompson forced to work on the matchups in the opening half of this first quarter. Burton pops it up to the wing. Biglands will fly in front. Bartel, the Mooney. Neat little sidestep around Thompson. Long ball, Ottens this time.
Well, it seems to be their plan to kick it long and direct to Ottens in a one-out situation. It's gone there 3 times now. Rutten's been able to spoil, but on this occasion, the ball dropped short. Ottens, as a good forward does, playing in front.
Shirley and Kelly is an interesting matchup. James Kelly, so creative. He's just had the 3 touches. Maybe it looks like there's been a change made. Thompson now with Kelly, and Shirley going to Bartel.
Brad Ottens to try and put Geelong on the scoreboard. It's taken 13 minutes. 19 goals, 11 his return. Hasn't missed a game this year. And he's got an early goal for Geelong there first.
Magnificent kick.
Margin 7 points. Riccardi in the first 4 in the middle here for the Cats, having replaced Ling. Skipworth roving to Chambers, hitting McGregor. Uses the runner, Doughty, 55 out. Goes wide to the pocket. Hunt and Kelly, and Hunt wins a free.
And Kelly's been pushed to the half-back line, picking up Thompson.
Hunt affects the switch for Bartel.
It looks like Goodwin is just cruising as a sweeper across the half-back line.
Scarlett to lend a hand for Bartel. Gee, they're making themselves work here. Geelong, it's an energy-sapping style there, and the Crows happy with a boundary throw-in.
Pretty handy player to have sweeping across half-back. Wayne is Simon Goodwin.
Well, he's so dangerous, isn't he? He sets them up. Joel Corey's gone to Brett Burton.
Cats with 8 clangers in the opening 15 minutes. Disturbing for Mark Thompson as Riccardi gets the clearance to midfield. Adelaide had 4 on 3. The bounce favoured Chapman. High ball gives Ottens a chance again against Rutten. Breeze just carried it a fraction. Ottens good tackle. Kingsley be a chance. Bassett near the boundary line chasing him, and it's over for a boundary throw-in. We might check in at ground level with Wayne Schwass. Wayne, have you seen the opening 15 minutes?
Apart from that Brad Otten's goal, I just thought the delivery, Geelong having the win to haphazardly blaze it inside forward 50. When Brad Ottens does mark it, that's fine. But when they've got crummers, they've got to get numbers. As Gerard said, it's all been Adelaide, which allows them to run the ball out a bit too easy at the present moment.
Biglan's down for Ryland. Thompson, timely fist away from Sanderson. And he's going to win a free kick as well. Slung after he got rid of it.
They're making a fair noise, the locals, with the new grandstand. Tremendous stadium now.
Just about capacity too. 28 is the maximum. Doughty for big ones with an ungainly looking kick there. Gardner gleefully accepts and uses Chapman, who with this kick will have had 7 possessions already. And again he bombs it long. Otten's 1 out with Rutten. And Rutten is going to need support. McLeod provides it there, boundary throw.
Well, at the moment, it's a pretty easy game plan to follow for the Adelaide Crows. They know they're going to Otten's long and direct with the win, so they're getting numbers back front and square. And like Swatter said on the bench, if they haven't got numbers front and square, the Adelaide players are just running it out.
Cats deep in attack. Biglands palming it down. Riccardi sharks it. He loves these. Here comes the Midas
Midas team out onto the ground. Boy, what an outfit. This Midas team has it all. Mechanical repairs on everything from suspension and brakes to mufflers. They're a well-oiled machine, this mob. When it comes to total car care, including logbook car servicing, the opposition has no chance. Get one and it won't void your new car warranty. So ring 136432 for total car care, and you know what they say? Trust the Midas touch.
Crows lead just a point. Riccardi's 278th goal in his illustrious AFL career. Bigland's first hand to it. Thompson tied up. We'll do it again.
Fine, pin to him. Thanks, Scotty. Thanks, mate.
That's going to make a change with Gardner coming on and Milburn back on.
No chance.
Skipworth wrapped up as well.
Jump with the footy. Get the arms
Crows
up.
winning 5 of the last 6 between these two clubs, including 2 of the last 3 at this ground. Took them 7 years. It's the first win here after joining the AFL. Mackie under pressure from Matner. Riccardi going again, wants the left. Had Bartel out wide. Elects to go himself. Gives it a ride with the breeze. Was it touched? No. Riccardi with back-to-back goals. Cats in front. Two to Riccardi, 3 to the Cats.
And that's the great advantage of this wind. You can score quickly. Balls do float over the back.
And that stirred this crowd into action as well. And now Hunt charging from the back half. And he takes off.
On his left foot.
Yep. And now he uses it. Otten's caught 3 deep. Comfortable for Tawney, man in front. Now Rutten.
Great effort by Rutten actually to shield Tawney.
Edwards.
Corey, a metre, please. Corey, a metre, please. Hey, come on, Corey.
Might have to go to a contest here. The Crow veteran. McGregor's providing leads. So Edwards goes backwards to Goodwin to maintain possession. He'll use Tawney, point of the square, half back.
Rashudo back on the ground.
Bassett presents in the middle. Tawney heads to him by hand. Bassett driving to McGregor. Good attempt, no mark. Mooney does well, doesn't get in his back. Rook for Burns. Cats on the counter-attack. Burns backed himself. Defers to Corey. Down the line, wide ball. Awkward one to Trap. Playfair traps it well.
He did well.
Ablett, Burns, clever. Playfair. Got to get rid of it. Boundary throwing.
Well, he did well to get round Bok, but when he went round, he ran into 3 other Crows players. So Henry just had to go the boundary line. Let's have a look at Ablett's handball. Just a slippery one underneath. Excellent exhibition. But they still couldn't get out of the cave of Crow players.
Burns. Off balance, just banging it forward. Crummer's required. Hart has time. Now Rashudo. Towards Edwards. Hunt right on his hammer. Ling. As Kingsley at half forward, he can play on. He could line them up with the breeze at his back. Kent Kingsley hooks the kick terribly out of bounds.
Wasn't a great option by Mark Rashudo coming off half back. He had Tyson Edwards short. He had Ian Perry long. He chose the short option and it dropped short.
Here's McLeod.
And that's the danger when you let the ball get in behind you. And Crows have got runners. Excellent effort there by Riccardi, was it, to stop it.
Boundary throw-in on the outer wing beneath the $26 million Eastern stand. And providing some of the best seats in the house.
Well, they've manned up Goodwin, which I think is a good move across that half-back line. Milburn's come onto the ground. The loose man was killing them early in the quarter. So Geelong are now neutralise that.
Matner wide for Doughty. Slick handball, got it on to Skipworth. He uses Biglands. He's got Riley. Crows running at will. Gets to 50, bombs it long. Welsh has to beat 2. Waiting back, reading it well. Scarlett Had Corey in support.
That's a pretty dumb kick from Riley. They've worked hard. There's no point just rolling the dice. It was 3 against 1. They had no chance. You have to just find somebody and keep possession.
Now Sanderson in his 199th senior game uses Chambers. Responsibility great for this man this afternoon. The kick letting him down there. Kingsley favoured by the bounce. Chapman chip to Milburn. Waits for it. Uses Ablett Willie. Wants to go himself. And why not?
Nice on a footy.
4 goals in 11 minutes by the home team after a weary start. Riccardi to Ling. Play fair.
You just go back to that Brett Riley kick into the Crows goal square. And so much rebound. It's a 2-goal difference.
No, he's coming through. That's all right. Nothing.
No 50 according to Hayden Kennedy. Playfair plays on. Here's a goal coming up for Chapman. 5 in a row.
Not on the line. Have to be inside.
17 points in front. Hudson, he's the #1 clearance man for the Crows this year. Ineffective that time as Ling gets it on to Chapman, having a whale of an opening term. Double figures in possessions now with 10. Long ball to Playfair, who slips. At the back, Ottens, the bounce eludes him. This is Rutten now, feeding Bock.
I think you make a fair point. Tawney's had the job on Chapman. He's just been getting too many possessions.
Thompson.
Josh, come back.
Nearly 26 minutes gone in the opening term. Goodwin with an uncharacteristic fumble. Will it open the door? McLeod closing. Kingsley, great tackle, rewarded.
Listen, all of a sudden the pressure of the Geelong onslaught has started to make some of their clearer thinkers
Nathan on the full room now, please.
make errors of judgment. And this one there, I thought as soon as he let the ball bounce, it was going to be a problem. And McLeod thought he had more space than he clearly had.
Sanderson replaced by Mackie. The reason for the applause in the background is Kent Kingsley, having sprayed his earlier shot this quarter. A chance to make it 6 unanswered Geelong goals in 13 minutes.
And that's something Ken Kingsley can tell his kids in many years to come, that he run down Andrew McLeod from behind.
Yeah.
From 50. Has hooked it.
Talk clear.
Well, right now I reckon it's about even. Wayne, sorry. Say that again.
3AW or?
Yep. I reckon it's about a 3 to 4 goal advantage, and I think the scoreboard is level.
Hard to bring it back into play. You see the kick hold up, packed form. McGregor flies. Burns waiting down. Here's Egan. Standing start just inside the 50. Well, oh, they spill it. Hart should concede, and does. 5-2 plays 2-1. These teams taking divergent paths in recent weeks. Crows having won 3 in a row to improve from a 4-4 mark after 8 rounds, while the Cats were 7-2 after 9, but have dropped their last 2 matches. And there were some nervous supporters walking in today saying surely it won't be 3 in a row. Edwards going wide, and Perry, who started on the bench, takes a mark.
How do you see the Crows lining up in their forward line in the next quarter, Wayne?
Well, I think Ian Perry started on the bench. You'd probably put Ian Perry and Ken McGregor down there at the start of the second quarter and take full advantage of this wind.
Skipworth unable to hang on. 18-8 on the inside 50 count in favour of Geelong.
Because of the wind conditions, it's going to be very difficult today to pinpoint passes at either end. So you need your bigger bodies. You need your Ken McGregors, your Ian Perrys, obviously your Ottens and Playfairs of either side.
Will they think about a Rhett Biglan's in the goal still?
You may see that at some stage, definitely, going with the wind.
High fend-off called against Scott Thompson. Kelly will take the free. We've travelled 28.5 minutes into this opening term. Mooney.
Enright. Still going.
That's 3 bounces.
Reaches 60. Ottens with a couple to beat again. Bassett with courage.
Running back into the unknown. Good result for Geelong here. A boundary throw in deep in attack.
And that's why the Adelaide defence is ranked #1 at the minute, because guys like Bassett, who aren't necessarily playing on the #1 forward anymore, is able to go off his man and jump in and make spoils like that.
That kick travelled nearly 80 metres.
Hudson, look out. Always dangerous with Ablett lurking. Still going, Gary. Clever. Got it to Ling. Misses with the hurried snap.
Is there anyone in the league better at holding his feet in a contested situation than Gary Ablett at the moment? He just doesn't go to ground.
No, it's a great strength. He's struggling to get the footy at the moment. He's being closely checked. Only had a couple of possessions.
Andrew McLeod looks like he's playing on Gary Ablett at the moment.
McLeod told to play on. Again, the Crows going long from the kick back into play. McGregor coming a long way down to present, and that's quarter time. And after trailing by 13 points, the Cats with the final 5 goals, 3 of the term, to take a 20-point lead to quarter time.
Never great on maths, Wayne, but this was really a quarter of 2 halves.
You're exactly right. And the Adelaide Crows got off to a very good start. And really, it took a little bit of time for the Geelong Football Club to work out how to use the breeze. And once they did, they got on top.
Could have a good one unfolding here from Skilled Stadium. Cats by 20 points at quarter time.
Looking for danger, hot on my heels, taking candy from strangers, liquid love on wheels.
Story of the opening term. Skipworth and Burton got the Crows on the board first against the Breeze with the opening 2 goals, but Geelong rallied with the next 5. Riccardi with back-to-back goals in a hurry, giving them the lead. And it's the Cats by 20 points at quarter time. Chapman with 10 possessions. Ling and Bartel also seeing plenty of the ball for the Cats, while Goodwin with double figures for the Crows in the opening term. Burton with 7 possessions and 5 marks. And significantly, Wayne Schwass, an injury. How serious is it?
Well, he came off midway point of that first term, Clinton. You talked about 7 kicks, 5 marks and a goal. He was one of the sparks that got Adelaide off to a good start. He had ice on his thigh early stages there going in as they broke. But then, importantly, they've strapped him up. He's done some run-throughs. I would suggest that he might take further part in the game. Importantly, though, for Geelong, they train here. They have the benefit of being on this ground all the time. If you see, it'll be to the left of the screen. There's no flags at the end indicating to Adelaide or suggesting which would be the side to attack. If you watch Geelong then, training here gives them the distinct advantage of which side they should attack. Adelaide will kick to the right of screen. They should attack from the near side of the ground because, as Gerard indicated, if you start it out left, the ball will fade back nicely like the Cats did there in that first term.
Giving meaning to the term home ground advantage. Let's check the scores from elsewhere. The SCG and the Telstra Dome hosting venues today with replays to come later. If you don't want to know the scores, look away now. Here at Geelong, second term about to get underway. Cats by 20 points to the left of screen. Crows with the breeze to the still Hickey stand in, and it's Hudson with first touch on it. Volleyball style. Wing got a fist to it, and we should end up with a second bounce. No. It is going to emerge. Ling for Kelly.
Good pressure from the Crows.
And they'll win out through Goodwin. Wild handball for Thompson, who slips under Corey's pressure, and Corey does well as dumped, though. Good tackle by Shirley.
In fact, their whole game turned around when Joel Corey came onto the ground onto the Spider-Man. He went off injured, and that didn't help, but he certainly got his hands on the football and just settled them a bit.
Well, Birdman even. Hudson down for appealing for deliberate boundary throw-in.
And as we suggested later in the first quarter, Ken McGregor has started at centre forward, and Ian Perry also in the forward line.
McGregor and Mooney.
Third man up, Shirley. Kelly goes without it. Tough early in the second quarter. Now the Crows might break through. A bevy of handballs.
Rook. Good pressure by the Cats to win back possession.
Didn't let up. Bartel sends it deep. McLeod with Adelaide chasing. Bangs it up towards the wing. Over the head of Edwards and Hunt, who will get there first. From the opposite direction, Perry closing. Hunt as Perry peels off. Playfair can't control, but we'll have another boundary throw in. One late withdrawal for this match with Tom Harley, if you joined us late, being replaced by Matthew Egan.
The Crows have spotted Riley as a loose man in defence. He's nominally on the wing, which leaves Corey free.
Milburn pops it up inside 50. Playfair had it knocked away. Matner charging through, caught high.
Gary, take him out, please.
Having a good year, Matner.
Take him out, please, McLeod.
It's been a player that has been in and out over the years and not been able to cement a spot, but looks as if he has this year.
Another of those rookie list elevated players. Rashudo for Goodwin. Back to the skipper. Uses Tawney down the centre corridor, banging it long. McGregor one out with Mooney. McGregor first, Mooney second. Oh, the big man's going to show some toe and then spills the beans. Could be costly. McGregor gets it on for Skipworth. Well tackled by Mooney. Great second effort. And he wants to go on with it with Skipworth as Perry. Off balance. Won't be 15. McGregor knocks it down. Edwards good pickup. Hand pass over the top. Goal coming up. And Skipworth seals the deal. His second. Second, ending the run of 5 unanswered Cat goals. Corey. Ling, Kelly. Ablett, and they're quick onto him. No chance to get rid of it.
Didn't ride him in the back at all.
Well, you get the feeling they really rate Gary Ablett. They started Simon Goodwin, Andrew McLeod, and every time he goes near the ball, you've got 3 Adelaide Crows players jumping all over him.
You've got an issue with Joel Corey, though. He is getting too much of the footy.
Thompson, good handball for Riley. Crows can run here. Shirley kept going. He set it up originally. Can he get by Bartel? Looping handball back for Riley. Now Rashudo. He's a thumping kick. He's 60 out. Unguarded, goal square. Out to the left for a behind.
Well, there's definitely a wind advantage, isn't there? He's kicked that ball 75 metres.
Turned 30 this week, did Mark Rashudo.
And it looked as if the forwards knew it was coming too, because they had cleared out, leaving an empty goal square.
Here's Corey. Was having a terrific season prior to the injury, averaging 24 possessions a game. And after starting on the bench today, this will be half a dozen as he goes for Sanderson. Hunt has Chapman leading towards the wing.
Still going with Tawney on Chapman, even though he had 10 possessions in the first quarter.
Hunt going without it. Matner hovering over it. Ling in for support. That's a bounce.
Yeah, that was really well done by Matt. He did drag it in, but he did it well enough not to get penalised.
Just on the wind, it's really important that when you have a strong win like this, 3 or 4 goal win, you don't waste the ball. You don't just kick it in long and high every single time. You really have to use it.
Thompson uses Riley.
Had plenty of it, Riley. I think he's loose.
That was a poor option in the end, because Corey's got Milburn to the eastern wing.
Let's kick that directly to his own opponent. Riley's playing on Milburn, on Corey, I should say, but more defensively.
Good juggling mark by Rook. Still too far out to score. Lays it off for Milburn. Betwixt and between there. Might come undone altogether. Boundary throw in.
I'm not sure why that wasn't holding the ball.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it from here, but let's have another look at what happens to Rook. He fumbles, then there's a tackle. Didn't have a lot of opportunity. Maybe he just didn't get the prior opportunity.
The hands were free. He could have got rid of the ball, Jared.
Good point.
Hudson boldly took it out of the ruck contest there, and a chain of hand passes ends with Tawney, who just drifts the kick wide to half back. Rashudo closes fast, kicks to Matner on the wing. He'll use Bock. Again, they've got an open forward line, so Bock bangs it long. One-on-one, Perry at the back. Good use of the body against the inexperienced Egan. And now it's just a question of accuracy.
Well, I guess the contentious issue is, did he use his body or use his hands?
It's a great mark by Ian Perry. It wasn't a great kick coming into the forward line. Had to kick it a little quicker, I reckon half a second quicker, and more on an angle.
And Brett Burton back on the ground.
Perry with 15 goals, 14 this season. Hits the post. His ledger is square. That should have been kicked.
Well, Geelong's got Ken Kingsley at one end and the Crows have got Ian Perry at the other. Both 50-50 type kicks in front of the goals.
3-3 to 5-3. Crows zoning up from the kick in. Hunt going to Burns. Perry getting back quickly. That's a good mark.
He'll have a shot in the roof. Perry off another crack. No, he won't.
He's just going to chip it inside, and Goodwin takes the mark and will kick from about 45. Right half forward.
And on the right side for a left footer, and you said before, Jared, that you have to aim this at the left-hand post and the wind will bring it back for you. Well, as a left footer, he'll naturally do that anyway.
So it's a certain goal then.
I'll back him.
All right.
And you are a betting man occasionally. Not coming back. And in the end, it's out of bounds on the foot.
Didn't quite hit that right, did he? Hit it on the outside of his foot. It swung the other way.
Yeah, a bit of a slider.
Thanks, Ken. That's it.
Chambers.
That's it, Ken.
Geez, it's a long way to your goals when you're down here into the teeth of a gale. Trying to navigate your way to your other end is pretty tough. That's one way of doing it. Just play on.
The kick. Well, in the end, Thompson could have left it for Hudson. Had to go himself. Burton tackled. Good to see Brett back on the ground. Rashudo for Thompson. All Geelong, Hunt.
That's the kick that's hurting the Crows at the moment. They're getting plenty of possession, probably too much through the middle, and not finding a target that's giving them a comfortable shot at goal.
Josh Hunt with that powerful leg can gain some yardage against the breeze. Bodies collide. Kelly read it well. Burns tackled. Adelaide caught as well.
Adelaide is pile-driven into the ground every time he gets near the footy. He is getting worked over unbelievably by the Crows players.
Milburn, no one standing the mark. Takes off. Drives it inside 50. Playfair getting back. Hunt! Not paid the mark. Caught by Ottens. McLeod with a smooth pickup. Oh, good chase, Playfair. Play on the call. Playfair for Gardner. Gives it back to Henry. That went all of 2 metres. Corey from a tight angle. Can he kick a goal? Holding up. And the Crows through the ever-reliable Bassett marks. And now Goodwin releases, and the Crows on the counter-attack to the other end. Entertaining stuff here at Geelong. Awkward bounce, Rutten caught high. Skipworth.
Well, they've worked pretty hard here, the Crows, without getting much reward. Geelong will be pretty pleased with the fact they still have a lead.
Near the boundary line and over. 11 minutes gone of this second quarter. Cats scoreless in it. The Crows with 1 goal too.
What about this chase on Andrew McLeod? Great chase. Did he kick the footy? He probably didn't have hold of him at the time when he let it go, but must have been close to a free kick.
Chambers for Bartel. Tied up.
Probably say he pressured him more than tackled him.
Ball got taken away from him.
Crows with 11 tackles this quarter to the Cats 5.
Brad Ottens coming off the ground.
And not a bad thing. I think with this wind, you need as much mobility into the wind as you possibly can get. Ball's not going high and long.
Corey on a collision course with McGregor, who brings him down. Burton the steal. Skipworth lining up for goal number 3. And he misses to the left-hand side.
Well, they're just wasting a couple of opportunities going forward, Adelaide. Second handball Skipworth's had over the top. He's kicked 1-1 in that situation.
You only have to have a look at the ground, the scores from other games around the country. Accuracy is just so important that you take your chances when they're presented, particularly easy ones like that.
Right there, Scotty.
Hunt to Sanderson. Former Crow, played 6 games.
Dig it now.
In his debut AFL year
13 years ago.
McGregor in a contest with Milburn, who's paid the mark. Well, that's 50. Why on earth do they try and do that still? The umpires are always going to ping you.
Well, it is a windy day. Do you think the wind might have got...
It's been a bad 5 minutes from Skipworth. He missed the goal, and then
Milburn kicks to the hot spot. A big leap by Bock, unable to hang on. And a bounce.
Yeah, and he's hurt one of his own players. Bit of friendly fire there.
He was careering through. Geelong scoreless this quarter. Can they conjure up something here? Bassett running out of room. Rutten. Bassett gains 5 metres. Clever. Boundary throw in on the 50.
There's about 500 boundary umpires there, all letting the official boundary umpire know that it was out. Geelong with 3 players by themselves, 15 minutes at the back of this pack.
Skipworth slips, heads for the boundary line. Another throw-in.
Kelly off, Riccardi on. Rotations continuing.
It's a move that we see just about every quarter with Mark Thompson, Jared. Peter Riccardi, 16 minutes in the first quarter, 5 possessions, 2 goals. Shannon Burns, 11 minutes, 5 possessions. They do have impact. Expect Peter Riccardi to get himself busy again.
Ball going nowhere in a hurry. Eventually it's one out by Kingsley to Sanderson. And Burton gliding over the top of the jockey-sized Burns. Bassett wide for Thompson. Hunt from the side. Gets there first. In the back.
It's a tough one for the umpires to call that because you reckon Hunt went to the ground as much as he was pushed.
Now Burns. Halfway through this second quarter.
That's a good kick.
It's some carry against the breeze. Playfair had it knocked down by Burton. Rutten tries to shovel it out. Chambers crashing into Skipworth. Still has the footy in there. A bounce.
No, it's not coming out. Well battled. Trying to move it on, that's good.
Well battled indeed as Rashudo takes a break.
Ken McGregor now right in the goal square. Perry up to the half-forward line.
An arm wrestle unfolding as Edwards feeds Skipworth to Tawney. Back to Hart. The general of the best defence in the AFL, kicking wide, out on the full.
Just lost a couple of tanks.
We saw Mark Rashudo. He's actually off the ground at the moment. Ben Hart might have thought he was still on the ground. He's having a drink.
Here's Riccardi. Handball deflected to Ling as though it was intended for him. He'll drive it inside 50, but again they're bombing away and it's the Crows plucking pat marks, this time Hudson.
Well, the Crows have got to somehow get the ball onto the other side of the ground. I know this is the attacking side, but Geelong are just blocking it up.
Hart to the wing. Welsh. Scarlett the fish.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about Matty Scarlett this year and whether he's in form, whether he's injured. But Scotty Welsh is going to have a tough day today. He looks on, Matty Scarlett.
Yeah, he does, but because he's being so closely tagged, Welsh, he could effectively quite easily play the role of the dummy and just get Scarlett away from the goals.
Kingsley, Bartell, Ling, hook up. Ling, good kick. And Playfair. Too far out against the breeze. Plays on. Releases wide. Hunt. Standing start at 49. Gardner, big leap. In the pocket, Mackie. Matten, a good tackle. Boundary throw in.
Welsh coming from the ground. can guarantee you that his opponent isn't coming with him.
Jericho will be the replacement.
Cats still pressing for their first score this quarter. We've been playing 17 minutes. Matner for Shirley. For Goodwin. Oh, some leniency for Sanderson. Edwards. Good kick. Bob can run onto this. 55 out. Spears the pass to the pocket. McGregor paddles it back for Burton. Oh, that's dangerous. Dangerous from Mooney.
Yeah, just a bit reckless, and that's why the free kick. Nothing more than a free kick, but it was reckless attack. That diagonal kick from one side of the square forward to the other side is pretty much, I think, the Neil Craig battle plan. Movement diagonally across the ground. The bloke's running for defence into the forward line rather than hitting up forwards, running away from the goals.
Brett Burton's been the barometer for Adelaide. He's down back taking marks. He now rushes forward having a shot at goal. When he's on the ground, they look a much better side, don't they?
Yeah, they do. He's a real element to their key element to their fortunes.
Important kick this. 18 minutes gone. And he's pushed it across the face. 4-1 behind. 1 goal, 4 for the Crows in this second quarter. Scarlett marks the kick back into play. Now Riccardi. Ablett and Tawney engage in a wrestle. And no doubt which way the crowd think things should have gone. Thompson for Goodwin. Matner. Skipworth. Still Adelaide run. Biglands blazes away out on the full.
Yeah, and he missed Jericho on the way through, the big fellow. Jericho had worked hard to make himself an option. But it looks like the momentum has now swung to Adelaide. They've just got a hold now, Geelong. They've done very well to restrict them just to the 1 goal.
Otten's on the ground for Chambers, so Brad will head to the ruck as Ling feeds Scarlett. Poise. Hunt. Riccardi now. Milburn. 19 minutes gone, quarter number 2, inside of 6 minutes from half-time. Egan for Mackie. Very wide ball for Ling. Uses Cam Mooney.
Doesn't want to bounce it
He's
again.
not sure, is he? He hand passes to Ling. He goes to Playfair. And high tackle. Playfair, wide ball for Scarlett. Chip to Gardner, too far out against the breeze. He turned down Kingsley's lead, elects to go short, over the head of Mackie, who can run onto it. The pickup was good. The handball not so. Playfair back for Mackie. High ball to the hot spot. Crows with numbers. Big one's the spoil. Edwards waiting down. He's elusive. He's a hard man to catch. And he does well, giving it to Hart. And Adelaide are dangerous here on the rebound. Shirley now, chipping towards Jericho. Not a good kick. Over his head. Scarlett running to centre half back. Caught by Goodwin. Great tackle, holding the ball.
And he could make the distance, but Brett Burton's already pushed forward.
Goodwin would have to kick it 60 metres. Back in the goal square is Perry and Egan. Perry leads now. Egan slips. Perry wanting to lead again.
He's right on the mark.
Still going Perry, but Goodwin fancying himself.
Looks like a torp, is it? No.
Gives it plenty, hooks it, getting the distance. Well, 1 goal, 5, and a couple out on the full this term, the Crows.
You so often see when a side has a strong breeze, they kick so many points. And it's because they have shots from so far out, thinking they can kick the distance rather than setting it up as they normally would.
There's Ablett marking the kick back into play. Corey. Egan down the line.
over the head of Playfair. Bock kept his feet. Shirley for Skipworth. Now, uses Big Ones, who goes wide, has a couple of options. Perry presents.
He's got nothing forward.
No, so he's going to just centre it, and Goodwin's got it. Won't have a shot this time. Man out wide, the target is Thompson. And can he kick truly now from the 50?
And once again, it's that angle kick across the face from one side to the other is where the space is. And you saw then just opened up the Adelaide forwards. And if you're to come in, you can't blaze away. You have to use the ball, as Simon Goodwin did then.
Some rotations late for the Crows with Rashudo and Riley replacing Dowdy and Burton. Thompson's kicked 3 goals in a game 3 times already this year, including last week. The former Demon from right on the 50. It's a wonderful kick. 3 points the difference here at Geelong.
2 3/4 minutes.
From half-time, a goal either way here would generate plenty of momentum. Heading to half-time, Ling's high ball nearly marked by Tawney. Rashudo's handball stolen by Kelly. Playfair in a wrestle, but Bock's been good today. Riley back for Bock. Said he believed in himself after the game against Revolt. Kicking wide for Edwards. Jericho running for him along with Goodwin. Chooses the ladder, but it's a high ball. Goodwin waiting underneath it. Bartel, Ling, Mooney, Scala. Now Ottens.
Big kick.
Mackie. Bounce eludes he and Thompson. Edwards swooping in. Good tackle, Mackie, rewarded.
Great tackle.
The pressure from both sides today has been fantastic.
It's been a good game of footy all round, hasn't it? Both sides with so much to gain. Adelaide can consolidate themselves. And Geelong have just got to reverse their ill fortune.
Mackie. Oh, good mark by Bassett.
Straight back! Straight back! On the ball!
Down to 90 seconds. Big Ones at centre half back. Wide ball for Rutten. There's time. Now Kingsley closes. Neat sidestep by the big man. Using McLeod. Big Ones. Geelong with numbers back. And Hunt takes the mark.
Well, that's just a non-kick.
That's exactly why a player like Andrew McLeod doesn't handball to a ruckman.
Geelong's last scoreless second quarter was against the Crows 4 years ago at Amy Stadium. On their way, it would appear to a scoreless quarter here. They've got less than a minute to change that as Scarlett uses Kelly. And Kelly will wait.
Surprises Wayne that clubs don't work harder to block up these free people in the defensive area. Ball inevitably comes out if you leave them free. Why not pressure down there rather than waiting till the ball gets into the middle or at the other end of the ground?
Well, it's a gripe of all coaches, but when Adelaide have got numbers behind the ball now, they're quite happy to let them chip the ball around and wait for it to come up the other end.
Listen to the response from the crowd to their team. And I reckon they might say a few more things in a couple of seconds as the halftime siren sounds on a scoreless Geelong quarter.
You don't mind Geelong just winding down the clock. They weren't going to score. They had 30 minutes to score and they weren't going to do it in the last minute. But it's not entertaining footy.
No, well, we had an umpire write an article. Derek Humphrey-Smith wrote an article during the week that he wants this rule changed because the crowd doesn't like it. And you heard the crowd and what they thought of it.
And do you agree with Derek?
I don't.
I was trying to get a first for us here on Sunday Football. So half-time, Adelaide kicked the opening 2 goals of the game. Geelong the next 5, and the Crows with 2 goals, 5-0 in the second quarter. And we've got a heck of an arm wrestle unfolding. At the long break, it's Geelong 5-3, leading the Crows 4-6.
I'm not not so sure Luke Jericho's the right option up there. I'd probably have Scott Welsh. Matty Scarlett, very experienced player.
Gardner going without it. A high tackle.
Tackle's high.
Crows got the free.
Over the shoulder, got him in the face.
What about Rashudo going forward? Cameron Ling is tracking him. He's getting plenty of possessions, as he always does.
If you look back through games at Cardinia Park, I think it was only a few years ago where Mark Rashudo kicked 5 goals here at Cardinia Park to win the game for Adelaide. Playing at full forward.
Chapman going to Kelly.
That's it, Sean.
Now the important ball. Ottens provides a lead down the middle. He goes to him, but Bassett gets in front. He read that well.
One of his greatest strengths, Fred, just to play across other players.
Edwards pops it to the wing. Matner getting space. Burns closing fast. Matner kicking long to a 1-on-2. McGregor got rid of one. Sanderson. Skipworth brought him down. Egan looked hesitant. Scarlett had it, lost it. Perry has McGregor short. Chips to him. Mooney closes. McGregor, strong hands. Now the distance will be the question.
That's a great mark. Cameron Mooney applied a fair bit amount of pressure, and he was still strong enough to hold the ball up. The more I look at this setup, Wayne, the more it looks as if they would be more productive playing the old Pagans paddock, having the Crows forwards all up the ground, then kicking it and running towards the goal. Unless Geelong drops somebody back in the space, I think that would be just as productive as trying to hit up targets leading away from the goal.
Yeah, I see your point, Jared. I think Geelong are getting numbers back. If they stand behind, that's very difficult to do. But you said before, Mark Rashudo forward, that was round 17, 2002, that he kicked 5 here to win the game for the Crows.
McGregor's kick is perfect, and the Crows take the lead.
Yeah, they've got rid of a bit of old dead wood. Have the Adelaide Crows in their forward line.
They've got the last 3 goals and have the lead. Chambers first hand to it. Milburn caught. Goodwin the tackle. Hudson, clever handball. Matner had support. The run provided by Riley. Fended off Burns. Goodwin, Rashudo taking them on. Thompson from 50 to the goal square. Scarlett.
And that's the kick I'm talking about. If they drag Scarlett up the ground, you're shooting in an empty square. You can run into it or run onto it.
Ling looks back to Scarlett. Now Hunt in space. Oh, turnover could be costly. Matner might send it back over his head, but hooks the kick, and it's out on the full.
Well, that kick, you just would think an AFL footballer could think it through a bit better than that. It's almost like the adrenaline takes over the decision making.
Ball carries Kelly and McLeod. Riccardi running out of room. Goodwin shrugs the tackle. Matner getting involved. Advantage play on. McLeod running. Perry the target. Mooney off the spoil. Puts Sanderson under the pump. The bounce awkward for Edwards.
Well, that bounce saved Cameron Mooney's footballing career for at least 1 week.
Milburn for Burns.
It's good recovery from Burns.
Milburn mown down, holding the ball.
It's been a great start to this term by Adelaide. They've done everything right. And Milburn hurt in that tackle. Well, they've done nearly everything right. Just that final kick into the forward line.
Milburn getting up very proppy. And Skipworth kicks to half forward. Mooney fumbles the marking attempt. McGregor pushed off it. Cats by sheer weight of numbers win out. Chambers, Bartel, Corey, Mooney. Now Sanderson. Men on in the centre corridor. Dangerous kick. Jericho covered the ground well. Hunt brushes aside a couple. Good recovery, Milburn. Goes long. Should be a mark to Ottens.
A double roar there, one for the Ottens mark, but mainly for Josh Hunt's kick long.
they're getting very frustrated, the Cats fans. Look, Adelaide have done everything right in the way they've put pressure on. They've got the ball into the forward line, but just haven't been able to capitalise. And it just goes to show you that if you get the ball in there quickly, a player of Brad Otten's ability can take a mark, and now having a shot at goal.
The Cats have been 39 minutes of playing time without a goal. Otten's with one in the first quarter. And a picture of concentration just in from the boundary line, pushing it wildly out on the full.
Well, based on the couple of kicks we've seen from that pocket, I think the wind is playing tricks. It's almost directly behind them from that pocket, and maybe they've got to adjust and head towards the
right-hand post.
Right goal post.
Yeah.
Roger
might be a little more swirly than what we think down there, because it definitely has pushed across the face.
Goodwin using Thompson.
Had a good game as Thompson again.
Rutten for Edwards, long to Perry, and Egan to beat. Still the Adelaide battle one-on-one. Now support. Sanderson comes in. It was a good contest. And someone's pinged. Oh. Adelaide free. Perry will get it.
Hey, dive on in, Perry. You're holding the ball in. Once
It's
you
a
dive
tough
on it.
rule, this one.
Once
It's
you
a
dive
tough
on it,
rule.
you have to get it
It's
out.
against every instinct we've got.
Look, yeah, it's okay.
I
mate,
don't mean to pick
Go
on
around,
umpires,
go
but
around.
Scott McLaren sweats on these. I've seen him the last 2 weeks. A guy falls on it. Now you see 10 players jump in on whoever the Geelong player is in on the bottom there, and he calls out holding the ball. There is no way you can get that ball out.
And now Perry can give the Crows a 9-point advantage. Directly in front, just inside the 50. Has the kick got the carry? Well, the goal umpire doesn't know because he's been barreled over. It's a goal. The Crows have got the last ball. And Mooney applying the tackle.
The big hairy Cat's taken out the goal umpire.
He's done it all now. And the Crows are marching on. 9 points is their lead. Remember, Geelong with the breeze at their back in this quarter.
They haven't had the footy this quarter, the Crows. The Cats. They just have not got near it.
Goodwin popping it up to centre half forward. Good tackle there by Corey. Mooney heads for the boundary line to effect a throw-in.
Now, I'll tell you why inside 50s is a rubbish stat, because that counts as an inside 50 for the Adelaide Crows.
That's rubbish.
It is rubbish.
Just rubbish.
You'll get that changed. Be inside 25.
Inside 25. Edwards spinning.
Had a good quarter as Edwards. Whole midfield of the Crows is well on top at the moment.
And there's some depth there. Hunt back for Scarlett. Had plenty of work to do. The All-Australian fullback of the last 2 years goes to Mooney. He goes to Ling. He will engineer a Geelong revival if there is to be one. Chapman.
Well, Chapman had 10 kicks in the first quarter. He had 1 in the second. And this is his first in the third.
Geelong have now been more than 40 minutes without a score.
This is a good kick for Geelong. They've just got to find a clear way to goal.
Egan to the eastern wing. Milburn. Egan keeps running. Milburn centres it. Hunt, he can provide the drive, but the flood is on. Adelaide with all 18 players now in Geelong's attacking half of the ground.
Thank you.
Sanderson with 34 players in Geelong's half. Corey.
At the back.
Yeah, that was predictable. Goodwin to Shirley. Now, can Adelaide be off to the races here? McGregor's on the wing. Shirley saw him but slipped. Still will use McGregor. Kick holds up. Free kick for an arm chop. Play on. McGregor to Goodwin. Long ball to Perry with Edwards to Rove. Egan's under pressure. Crows could win out here. Loose man in the middle. Tawney. The defender to kick a goal. To first to Thompson. Adelaide marching on. If the Adelaide coaching staff can see, they will enjoy what they're watching.
Good point.
Chambers knocking it down. Chapman is tied up. Eventually squeezes the little kick forward, but Adelaide numbers are everywhere. Matner for McLeod, about to be caught, gone.
Well, that is clearly incorrect disposal.
Ablett pops it up. Kingsley in front, at the back, Ottens. Bassett, ball held in. Will have a bounce 25 metres out from the Geelong goal, and they've got less than 9 minutes with the breeze at their back.
Well, you can see the sun, it's just beating onto that eastern side as it sets in the west, but Brian Cook, the CEO of Geelong, would be thrilled if it works, because that is another advertising space that is up for grabs.
Milburn pushed off it. Crows would be very happy if there's no more goals in the next 8.5 minutes. They have set the tone here in the third quarter.
Chambers off, they've brought Mackie on. Maybe Ottens will come up into the middle, and they've just got to change the balance, because they're getting belted at the moment. Get some more run.
Hudson for Edwards, for Bach. Play fair against him.
And look at them. There's a line of Crows players who are going to take this up like a rugby union scrum.
Rashudo had to go short. No one was longer. Uses Jericho. He can run to 50 and unload. Thompson with 2 to beat. Scarlett, he is the rock down there right now, Wayne Schloss.
The Adelaide Crows, they're doing well on the field, but Geelong have got problems off the field. Jared Rook's gone into the rooms. Corey Enright came out late with tracksuit pants on. Andrew Mackey's just gone on replacing Chambers, but he's limping. The only fit player at the moment on the bench is Paul Chambers for Geelong.
Ottens up into the ruck. Wasted forward thrust again from the Crows.
Shirley got there first, feeds Rutten. Now Bassett. Another wave of Crow jumpers. Goodwin getting it on. Jericho being stalked by Scarlett. Oh, great stuff. Matty Scarlett returning to form this afternoon.
Well, they need something, Wayne, to give them a spark. They're just going down the wrong track at the moment. Something has got to change for this Cat side.
It's on ball. They're getting crucified on ball. It's the Adelaide Crows that are winning all the football through the midfield.
45 minutes without a score, Geelong. Is that about to change? It will be. Good mark, Cameron Lee.
Did well, exposed Rashudo on the way back. And Mackie immediately onto the ground with a little bit of extra mobility. Ottens gets the possession in the middle, goes to Mackie. It's a win for the coaching box this time, if it goes through.
Well, speed of ball movement that wins this ball for Ling. They got it in there quickly. There was space. The Adelaide Crows didn't have time to get numbers behind the footy.
And now the drought will be broken. Margin back to 9 points. And still plenty of time remaining here in quarter number 3. Ottens to try and give them something out of the middle. Bartel well tackled by Edwards. Ling back to Bartel. Riccardi. We know he's a thumping kick. Goal square will be unguarded. Elects to pass. Kingsley the target. Rutten has played him well. Although his clearance might come straight back. Corey with quick hands for Chapman, the 1-2. And Corey closes to 55 and delivers to play fair. And Geelong could have 2 in a minute.
And that's the real challenge for a backman. It's not just to stop your opponent getting the footy, as Rutten did so well there. It's to make sure, even though the adrenaline is just surging through the system, trying to get the ball out, that you just don't kick it to a loose opposition player, because it just comes straight back.
Hudson and Rashudo replaced by Skipworth and Biglands. Playfair a 50-50 shooter this year. He's kicked 10-10. He's in the positive now. And the Cats are back within 3 points. Be excited. 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Geelong getting a sniff. Chapman feeding Milburn. Back to Chapman. Under pressure. Good work. Corey towards half forward. Play fair. Awkward bounce. Bok caught. Boundary throwing.
It's been a good contest, that one. Play fair and Bok.
We are in time on. Big ones for Thompson. Wrapped up. Adelaide always dangerous. Mackie plays for the free, doesn't get it. Boundary throw in. No, out of bounds on the full. Ricocheted off a boot. And the free kick is going Adelaide's way. Crows move it quickly for Goodwin. Over the head of McGregor and Mooney. Big ones was pushed in the back by Ottens.
And for a couple of seconds, Ling went to full forward, but now he's back in the middle because Bassett has just charged up the ground.
Here's Jericho. Hart missed Edwards. Opens the door for the Cats. Ling's got Kingsley. And he hangs onto it. Crowder urging him to move it. He goes long to play fair. He's presented well today. And now if he kicks straight, Geelong are back in front.
He's a good mover, Henry Playfair. Just keeps getting better every week.
I said before, this has been a good contest. Bok's given Adelaide a lot of drive off half back, but Playfair kicked a goal just about 5 minutes ago. Lines up for his second, coming up for his 12th possession.
Bok's got the advantage when they wrestle. Playfair's got the advantage on the move.
Played rugby as a kid in Sydney, drafted out of the New South Wales ACT Rams back in 2001. This kick for 3 goals in 5 minutes to put the home team in front. Cats lead. 48 minutes without a goal, then 3 in 5. Is there more to come? Again, the balance of Ablett superb. The penetrating kick for Ling, just over his head. Gee, that had some carry on the kick.
I like Ling at full forward. It's where he cut his teeth as a player. And he was drafted as an under-18 from the full forward position. He knows how to play it. And they're getting killed down there, so you might as well throw him there as another option.
Crows' kicking structure this season had been a strength of theirs, although today it has been negated somewhat, and McLeod heads for the boundary line with that kick and won't find it. Gardner. Look out, Joel Corey. You're gone. Stands up in the tackle. Well, a lot of hospital jobs here.
Spike. Dig. Set.
A bounce.
Good pressure by both sides.
4-point Geelong lead. Marks inside 50 for the quarter. 5-1 the Cats way. Will have a boundary throw in with 2:07 remaining.
This quarter really has mirrored the first, hasn't it? Where Adelaide dominated the first half of the first quarter, and then Geelong come back.
The big hairy cat, Cameron Mooney, desperate to get off. I think he's got a slight injury. Needs to get it strapped. Yeah, I think that's because you've only got so much running power in the system, and Adelaide ran like they were men possessed in the first 15 minutes, created enough opportunities almost to control the game. Burned a couple of options at about the 15-minute mark, and that opened up the door for Geelong.
Corey, clever third man up there, but Mackey was under pressure. Burns drives it deep. Crummers need it. Adelaide win out, the big men. Rutten for Goodwin. To the wing for Perry. Sanderson puts the pressure on. Doughty goes back for Thompson. Running forward, Riley with the flight of the ball into the unknown. Cannoned into by Scarlett, and it's hurt him.
Well done, Riley. Well done, Scarlett. It's just a good game of footy at the moment.
It is.
And that's great courage by Brent Riley. I know Chris McDermott wrote an article earlier in the year questioning Brent Riley's courage. You definitely can't question the way he attacked the ball then.
That was the Playfair incident from earlier. Throw in on the wing. Corey. Burns. Ablett caught. Gets the kick away. Watch the bounce, guys. Over the head. Mackie. just couldn't quite get a grip on it. The tackle was excellent, however. Minute to go, we'll have a bounce.
So I'll clarify that. It wasn't Chris McDermott. It was Andrew Jarman. Wrote an article about Andrew McLeod and also Brent Riley.
And there it is. There was a tremendous attack on the ball. Let's go down to Wayne Swass. Some important injury news, Wayne.
Well, it's busier than Burke Street Morley for Geelong at the moment. Henry Playfair straight up the race. Cameron Mooney's come off. Both legs getting rubbed at the moment. They've got Kerry Enright already off with an injury that won't take any further part in the game.
40 seconds to go. Sanderson driving it deep. Terrific kick. Oh, what a goal! Four unanswered goals now by Geelong as this roller coaster match of the round unfolds. The final stanza is going to be something else.
Still time for one more. Clock will keep ticking. It's got to be a quick takeaway and a long bomb for Geelong. Can't see Adelaide getting a score.
Milburn just smashes it to centre half forward. McLeod reading it well, no chance to get rid of it. Chops it for Bock. Edwards, Dowdy, runs into Sanderson. Well, Brenton's probably thinking I should have a shot from here, given my previous effort.
Well, if he does, this one will be exclusively for the stats man.
Three-quarter time at Skilled Stadium, and the Cats will enjoy a 10-point lead. Forget about it. He won't score from there. 9-4-58 Geelong. Adelaide 7-6-48. This would have to be Ben Graham-esque. He's lucky to make halfway. 10 points, is it enough for the Cats with a quarter to play?
Well, look, you'd have to think that Adelaide have the advantage with only 10 points coming into the last quarter, but do you think he just did that kick, Jared, for the stats?
Stats only. What is clear is that Geelong are going to have to kick a goal or two to win. They couldn't do that in the second term, so they're going to have to find a new way home.
Great man once said, "You give me stats and I'll shut up."
It's good enough.
Neither club giving an inch in the match of the round on Sunday football. Geelong entering the final term with a 10-point lead. Riccardi and Playfair 2 each for the Cats. Thompson and Skipworth 2 each for the Crows. Goodwin and Thompson already with 29 touches to three-quarter time. But some injury news for the home team. An impassioned plea from Mark Thompson. Here's Wayne Swass.
Yes, an impassioned plea from Mark Thompson. They'll do it with a couple of men down, though. Unfortunately, Corey Enright has strained a knee ligament to his right knee. He came back out sitting on the bench. Actually didn't make his way out there at the three-quarter time huddle. Came out after half-time. The third quarter had resumed at about the 10-minute mark. And unfortunately for the Cats, Henry Playfair suffered a knock. I'll get it right initially. Suffered a knock to his head or his jaw. He went into the rooms late in that third term and hasn't come back out. So the doctor's assessing him. 2 men short, but 4 unanswered goals late in that third term. Good signs for the Cats.
Thanks, Wayne. Mooney and Burns coming to the bench as we check the scores on the matches at the SCG and the Telstra Dome. If you don't want to know them now, look away. This is the one to watch right here. Cats by 10 points, quarter remaining. Rutten with the job on Otten starting forward. Crows have the breeze at their back. It's a swing game, this. Who will be 4 points up on the other? Underway. Shirley caught. Hudson. Boot to ball quickly. Deep inside the 50. Scarlett has been terrific.
And he's going to have to be. Mooney's gone up the race. I'd suspect he's gone up to need an injection or two, but it'll be a great win if Geelong can get over the top of Adelaide here because of the injury problems.
Hunt with 2 bounces. The kick to half forward. Geelong, remember, scoreless to this end in the second term. No free kick. Adelaide have had a blessed run by way of injury this year as we have a look at the replay. John Cock, their only senior player, out. 17 of the Crows' 22 today have played either 10 or 11 games this year. Haven't had anyone suspended either. Kelly to Ling. Long ball inside the 50. Hart can't mark. Ablett for Kingsley. For Mackie. Tight angle. 40 out on the full.
Good start by Geelong. Pretty enthusiastic runs forward from all their midfield.
The red line through Playfair and Enright to play no further part. This is Riley. 1 minute chewed up already in the final quarter. Thompson, possession number 30 coming up. Rashudo, strong hands. A little bit of theatre for the crowd in the Eastern Grandstand as Matner receives the pass. Crows looking for a fourth consecutive win. Geelong trying to avert a third straight defeat. Bassett wide from McGregor. Did well to deflect it to Perry. Now Matner. Perry again.
Nothing in the goal square. Nothing within 30 metres of goal.
Perry just building up the numbers. He's going to get it again. 3 possessions in this passage of play. And a wide ball and at full stretch. Hart can't mark. Recovers well. The flood is on in earnest. Is that 15? No. Edwards. Chambers. And Geelong will be off to the races. Riccardi's kick, though, smothered by Bott. Hart bangs it forward. Skipworth goes to ground. Good defence, not giving away a free was Sanderson. And Geelong are on the counter-attack through Milburn. Gardner. Rook, good build-up. Here's a chance. Ling steadies for the first of the final quarter. No.
A great movement of the ball by Geelong, but on the flip side of that, Adelaide's movement into their forward line was something short of disgraceful, Gerard, I must say. It was
almost as if they were playing into the wind.
Hawthorn got bagged a lot last week about the same sort of movement. They had no one to go to. They were playing the paddock, but no one was prepared to run into the space.
Seems unusual when they've got such a strong wind behind them. Here's Matner and Riccardi in a race. That's too far, isn't it? McLaren had the whistle in his mouth. He was lucky.
Skipworth for Goodwin. Sizes up the options and drives it long. Jericho at the back. Can Perry go off the ground? Hunt concedes a behind.
Well, almost for Jericho.
Yeah, you were saying earlier, Gerard, that when you're going against the wind, the paddock works not too bad. But when you're going with it, you almost have to plant a big guy in the square to have as a long option.
Chapman.
Come towards me if you want it.
You fancy the Cats won't kick too many goals in this final term. Adelaide average 11 here. They've got 7 today.
The big Roo looks like the man to me. Rashudo's played this game, played this ground so well, as you said, over the past. Here's an accurate shot at goal. He can kick it from 50, and he's an imposing figure sitting in the square because he's so strong.
Kelly pops it up. Matner the spoil. Chapman hovering over it. Shirley wearing him tight.
You both got it. Held Joey, my ball.
Mark Rashudo does seem to be playing half forward. He is now running to centre half forward.
Straight up.
Rook, the man picking him up. Bartel caught. Another bounce.
Not around the neck. No, it wasn't.
And if you look behind the ball, there's Chapman is 10 metres from his man. Riley's trying to play defensive of him. Ling is the one who's unaccountable, as in he's not being picked up.
And that has to be Matner.
Matner's defensive side of his pack, Ling's defensive side of Geelong's pack.
Behind a piece through 5 minutes of the final quarter. Again, the ball going nowhere in a hurry. Ling, the defensive man for the Cats. Awkward one. Sanderson, is he caught high? No.
It's good work by Goodwin.
Still going nowhere. This is like Australia and Samoa yesterday, and we'll have another bounce.
I'm trying to let you sort it out. Letting it go out.
You're going to say who represents Samoa? Because it was 50-7, I think, or something.
74, yeah. And a heck of a scoreline as Chambers got hand to it. Thompson's kick is smothered. This is going to be a struggle the final half hour. Now it breaks open, but Sanderson was right on Shirley's hammer. Bartel for Ling, and finally it opens up. Good hands, Bartel for Rook. Down the centre corridor he runs, goes to Kingsley. Bassett, the discipline spoil. Gardner makes Chapman work. About to be caught. Ducked the head, slipped away.
Tackle so important. He had Chapman there, and that could create a goal opportunity.
Scarlett may have lost it in the sun. Kingsley for Scarlett, the full forward and the full back, side by side on the wing. Scarlett bombs it to half forward. Adelaide with numbers. Riccardi, good effort. Tawney did well, but it was out. Throw it in.
Well, right now, Geelong look like they've got more run. Adelaide haven't started their quarter yet.
And it looks as though the temporary awning may become permanent. That's a good advertisement for them. As long as it's working for the visiting coach. Riley. Sanderson being held. Geelong's 11th free kick. The Crows have 16, hence the Bronx cheers. Corey for the running Cameron Ling. Milburn. Now the important entry towards the 50. He's going to bomb it long for Ottens, who was caught a step behind Rutten there. The bounce favours Ablett. Chapman, Riccardi on the left. All Adelaide back there. Hudson needs to mark now and does.
Oh, boy, stop. Just get it going.
Shirley. Welsh replaces Jericho. Here's Thompson. Was he being held that time by Sanderson? Yes. Play on the call now. Thompson goes long. Perry the target. Catch spoil well. Rook's handball though, he's given it up. The goal square unguarded for the Crows here. Rashido can bomb it long. He senses that. He goes for it and misses just to the right-hand side. It will come back for Josh Hunt.
They just look a little unsettled in the forward line at the start of this quarter. Not sure where to go to. Players aren't sure whether to stay deep or come up the ground and give themselves space behind. I like the fact that Scott Welsh has come back on for Luke Jericho.
Matthew Scarlett with mark number 10. Now Rook. It's been 2-1 Adelaide this quarter by way of behinds. In the opening 10 minutes we're without a goal. Hunt spears it to Chambers. Chapman wheels by Rashudo. Pops it up. Flyers required. Corey clever waiting down. Ablett about to be mown down. Wonderful handball to Gardner. Riccardi, can he get it to Kingsley? No, the bounce eludes him. Bassett, well done. Got it onto Bock. And now Hudson and Riley, and the Crows have got the overlap and are running. McLeod crosses midway, drives it long. 2 to beat is Thompson and Scarlett in front. Normally you'd back him. Sanderson, a couple of veteran wily defenders there. And now Hunt and Geelong stave off another Crows attack. Strong hands. And loose men are forward. Corey can go to Riccardi.
Hudson's got to come out.
McLeod closing. Riccardi too far out. Pops it up. Kingsley or Ottens. Oh, they spoil one another. And Hart gets it to Bassett and Rutten. And the Crow defence, number 1 in the AFL. They hold up as well. Edwards out wide. Tawney the mark.
Does anyone leave his man better than Nathan Bassett in the competition?
Yeah, I was going to say earlier before that we got overrun, but that was one of the best defensive moves of the day.
McGregor pull kick forward marked by Ablett.
And right now the Crows don't seem to be capable of making the right decision when to kick long and when to kick short.
They look indecisive coming through the midfield going forward, don't they?
Yep.
Scarlett targets Gardner. Bock reads it well.
It's been a good battle, that one, all day.
got the overlap with Skipworth.
We are halfway through this final quarter. Bassett pops it in front of Rutten. Delivers wide. Welsh has it spoiled by Hunt. Corey. Chambers slips. Ling. Chapman. If Geelong get one more, they might be able to shut it down. Good spoil by Gardner to not give away a free. Harder's brought down. Bodies flying everywhere. Oh, McLeod put a heavy shepherd on Ablett. Enables the Crows to free things up. Rutten's handball was shocking for Skipworth. Caused him to be mown down. Tawney ducks out of a tackle. Boundary throw in, stop the clock, 9:15.
The half-metre handball becoming so popular in the game. Nobody wants to flick it out a little bit wide. And the resemblance towards rugby union just grows by the week.
The crowd can get frustrated with what's going on, but both sides all day have put tremendous pressure on one another.
Terrific struggle.
Loose man should win this out.
Crows. Bock. Bassett has Riley on at half forward and he can go. He waits. Now the lead wide, provided by Welsh. And he takes the mark. And now with his first kick of the afternoon, can cut the margin to 3 points. We saw a cameo from Scott Welsh a fortnight ago when he bobbed up late to stave off defeat against Carlton. What a kick this is. The Flu last week missed the win over Essendon for the first goal of the final quarter. 40 metres out. Welsh has missed. (7-9) plays 9-5.
You reckon they'd have to kick one goal at least, Geelong, to win? They can get one goal, they might be able to just close it completely.
23,506 on the edge of their seat. That's on the full. It wasn't touched. Has that pendulum swung back the visitors' way? Perry for Riley. For Thompson. Can use McGregor or go himself. He goes himself. He bumps it home. What a goal! Margin is 2 points. Can Geelong hang on? You'd think they've got to get another goal because Adelaide have been dominating the last 5 or 6 minutes possession-wise. Mooney, will he lift? Kelly.
This is it.
Ablett takes off. 50 out. Gardner getting back. Behind.
We've so often seen from that side of the ground all day. I don't think a player's kicked a goal from that side of the ground all day. It's floated across goal, either out in the full or through for a behind.
McLeod.
That is his work.
Oh, that is brilliant for Bassett. He can run all the way to half forward. Hunt, the man chasing, is about 15 metres away. Closing slowly. Bassett elects to kick now. Drives it to the hot spot. At the back, Adelaide. Oh, Edwards.
Scarlett, magnificent intercept. Oh.
And Edwards was going for an open goal. Boundary throw in.
Classic example by Nathan Bassett, not taking too many bounces, knew when to kick it into the forward line. He takes one more bounce. Geelong gets a few more numbers back. It's great intercept by Scarlett.
It was priceless.
A certain goal.
4 of the last 8 matches between these two decided by less than 2 goals as Beglands kicks to the goal square. Oh, Scarlett has been simply outstanding. The last line of defence there. 12 marks and 28 possessions, and now Corey with Geelong clinging to a tenuous 3-point advantage.
I think they've got to get another target in the goal square, and when the ball starts to come in, get Scarlett out of the way, get Welsh to become the dummy forward.
He's back to his absolute best.
Over the head of Chambers on the wing. Gardner paddles it for the line, kept it in for Chapman. Matner.
He's handball to a bloke. It's not on the ground yet.
Wayne Schloss at ground level. Terrific atmosphere, terrific intensity.
Oh, look, it doesn't have to be a high-scoring match, Clinton, to be a Dowler struggle. Both sides have been very willing, but probably like Gerard has suggested, the Cats have just got to try and manage to sneak a goal late in the fourth quarter.
Scott McLaren filthy with a Crows runner.
Kelly for Ling for Kelly. Mooney calls him on. Didn't provide the block on Biglands. Ling for Mooney. Look out. Two Crows closing. Bartel gets himself out of trouble. Bassett has been equally as resistant at the other end of the ground as Scarlett has for Geelong. And he goes long and wide for Edwards. Space at half forward.
Geelong runner just out to Gary Ablett, I suspect, telling him to get onto the ball. He's now chasing Riley down the ground.
In such an even season, the next 5.5 minutes so critical to these teams' long-term fortunes this season. They might look back and say this was the one that cost us or made us. Welsh to Perry. Spills it, recovers. Rook's got him. Boundary line throwing.
Well, pressure can do amazing things. It's a simple test mark for Ian Perry. And he spent it. I think he was looking for handball even before he'd taken the ball.
Geelong with just 2 behinds in this final quarter. Again, not scoring to that northern end.
We've got the right bloke out there, Peter Riccardi. He's the man for this sort of situation. They're playing the paddock, all players up inside the centre square or forward. The Crows playing a loose man behind. The challenge is to get it out of their defensive 50.
In the lengthening shadows, the Crows in attack, pressing for the lead. Dangerous cross-ground kick effective. Milburn towards the leading Burns. Bounce not good. Tawney goes to ground. Burns kept his feet. Now he's besieged. Sat upon. A bounce.
Thank you. Thanks.
Four and a half to go. 19 gone in this final quarter. Have not been long quarters today. Biglands. Corey, is he playing for the boundary line? Ling does.
It's what I said earlier this quarter, that it has been a dour struggle for both sides. Not high scoring, but the pressure by both sides today has to be applauded.
Seagulls grazing undisturbed in the Geelong attacking 50-metre arc.
They know something.
Beekman's knocking it down. Sanderson for Milburn. To the wing. Solid hands by Bock.
Well, as much as Geelong are looking to get a goal, the bottom line is the Crows need one first.
Suddenly, is 3 points going to be enough to hang on? Thompson goes long. Can they take a pack mark? Oh, big leap, Biglands. Couldn't bring it down. Hudson. Biglands on a collision course with Mooney. He heads for the boundary line. And it's a throw-in. Oh, boy.
Well, how can that not be delivered out of bounds?
Oh, maybe Scott McLaren is aware of the situation on the scoreboard.
Now look at that. There has never been a more deliberate out of bounds than that.
Maybe umpire McLaren thought Geelong members behind me, Cam Mooney in front of me, game on the line.
It's a matter of supply. What's as simple as that? I mean, Scott McLaren would have been blockaded as to Geelong bypass. And lynched.
Crows deep in attack, searching for the lead.
Oh, that's on the ball.
Oh, that's close. It's got to be close. Doughty, Edwards, the banana kick. Across the face, out on the full. Geelong hanging on grimly. They've got 3 minutes more to soak up.
There's some sore boys out there. We just saw Tyson Edwards get up very gingerly.
Good kick for Rook, and he hangs onto it. Adelaide have closed with 1 goal 3. Geelong 2 behinds.
They've just got to play man on man here now. Adelaide, they've got to win the footy back. Geelong can start mopping up the clock.
Well, let's hope this game doesn't come down to that decision by Scott McLaren.
Gardner pushed. And Proppy as well. The Cats down a couple with Playfair and Enright taking no part in the final turn.
Sanderson off.
And the man replacing him, Ottens, is free for the time being. Rook.
They've got a man up. They just cannot allow 1 metre.
Burns.
Got to force a mistake here from Geelong, Adelaide.
Like back in the playground in the old days. Next goal wins. Ottens in the middle.
Still got a man up. Ling's alone.
Less than 2.5. Through the Seagulls, Chapman emerges. Time clock keeps running. Milburn at full stretch. And now we're going to get a 50-50 contest with 2:09 remaining. The match of the round. An arm wrestle. A gripping struggle. It's provided us with everything except a winner. We'll find out as Kelly emerges. Bombs it to full forward. Ottens goes to ground. Rutten the spoil. Burns! Across the face. And now the margin is 4 points and Adelaide will have possession.
And if anybody was going to be manned up, somebody's got to get on Bassett. They'll try for the same move. They may go short and then somebody will be released to the outer wing. Or maybe Hart's just got to take off.
He does. And thumps it to the centre square. At the back, Biglands. McLeod lurking. Matner. Caught. Bartel. Great tackle. Thompson. Clever. Got it to Rashudo. The skipper's away. Thumps it up to the 50. Welsh backing back. Under pressure, Egan, the third gamer. Does brilliantly. Finds Milburn. 1:20 to hang on. Bartel.
Well, they can ice it from here. They can just go back. There's McMurray. They can just hold on to it. They shouldn't lose from here, Geelong.
Bartel going all the way back to Scarlett. The sure hands of the All-Australian fullback.
We spoke about this earlier. This is where Adelaide have to man up and make sure that they haven't got loose players.
1 minute to go. Ling for Rook. And he marks with a metre to spare.
Well, you wouldn't kick it forward. You just hold it and then kick back. They've got a loose man down there.
He's told to play on. Short ball for Ling. And he marks it. And 2 more of those. And the Cats will have eked out a gritty victory.
It's over.
Scarlett marks. Bartel's going to do likewise. They were booing this style of play, the home fans, in the first half. They'll be cheering it in 25 seconds. Cameron Ling marks on halfback. Soaks up a few more seconds. Adelaide's 3-game winning streak is going to come to an end. Geelong's 2-game losing streak will come to an end. Ling kicks to a contest. Off hands. Kelly waiting down. Mooney just can't be tackled here. Siren. Touchdown. They didn't kick a goal at the northern end all day, but in the end they didn't have to. 2 top 4 teams bound to play in September are left with some war wounds. It was a sapping afternoon. Right at the end, Rook will seek the trainer's help, but he'll have 7 days to recover before the Cats head to Brisbane to take on the Lions. And they will do so from a position in the top 4. They'll take the Crows spot on the ladder. Oh, what a struggle that was.
We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong, we're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be played, at home or far away. The banners fly high from dawn to dawn, down at Cardinia Park.
Well, 9 goals won the game of footy in perfect conditions. It's not pretty footy, but it was gripping, and it was unbelievable right down to the finish. Here's Wayne Swice with Cameron Ling, who had a fantastic
Well,
match.
Cameron, I lost the $5 bet. I thought I'd get Matthew Scarlett. Didn't want to borrow me, but importantly got yourself. Terrific game, important game. You'd lost the couple. It wasn't a high-scoring match, but the importance was reflected in a very tough afternoon of football.
Oh, absolutely, mate. It was a hard game, and yeah, obviously the last couple of weeks haven't been what we wanted, and we knew how important this game was, and the boys just lifted massively. Kicking into the wind in that last quarter was just running on. I don't know what was left in the tank of a few of the boys, but it was pretty special effort.
Doesn't matter how it comes. I think importantly in that third term, though, Adelaide got a goal or so in front, looked as though the momentum had changed. Then the side just banged on 4 consecutive goals, which is important going into 3